हवाए बंदगी आवर dar vajud mara, वगरने ज़ौक़े चुनी आमदे नमूद मरा। न साजो न बाजो न फौजो न फर्श, खुदावंद बख्शंदे ऐश अर्श। बिबी गर्दिशे बेवफाए ज़मा, के पर हर बगुज़रत मकीनो मका। के शुद के चां बच का कुश्ते चार, के बाकी बेमादस्त पेचीदा मार। तन तन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी, तन गुरु नानक साहब हजूर। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। We are analyzing, contemplating the Baani of the JAPJI. JAPJI is a reflection of a spiritual revelation in the inner mind. When a human being realizes the core of his creation, where he is coming from and where he shall go. When the understanding of the mind is revealed to us, when the Creator is revealed to us, when we understand the structure of the mind and the creation, what should be our focus? What is our steps towards this realization of what lies at our core? Guru calls this hukam. And because hukam is a not so commonly used word in the spiritual realm, we often underestimate the word itself. But Guru has in his own Baani revealed to us that the hukam and naam are one and the same, and the Shabad. An understanding of what is Shabad, what is naam, living the naam, reveals the hukam to us. The hukam is the entire creation. Hukam is our entire being. Like a fish lives in water, we live in hukam. But we are not aware of this hukam. Because we are insulated by the hukam, from the hukam by our egos. And that is how creation comes about. Kit kit bid jag upje purkha, kit kit dukh binas jai. How does the world come about? And how does pain and sorrow go away? Maharaj says, Home vich jag upje purkha, naam bisariye dukh pai. It's the creation of the ego which creates the world. I am is a foundation of everything which is around us. The plants, animals, they all have an ego, but they cannot go to the core of their creation. The human being can. So in them there is no conflict. They are what they are made. But the human doesn't live what he is made. We all live in conflicts. We are not aware of what does our inner mind carry. And that we need to work at. We need to step towards that, work towards that. This is all how a Sikh is made, how Sikhi is created, how the search of the inner self is created. And it is the foundation of the relationship between a Sikh and a Guru. We all love our physical creation. We all love our families. We love our life. We love our, and we are attached to it. But there is something more intense around us which we are not aware of. And if we get aware of that, then somehow the physical aspect dissolves itself if it can, if I have that depth in me. I was yesterday contemplating on the saga of the Fatehgarh Sahib, Jyoti Sarup, Baba Zorawar Singh, Baba Fateh Singh. 7 and 9-year-old children, called children by the world, but their actions are not childlike. And in the middle of all this, there is something else also happening. What is perceived by the records of the history, what is seen as happening in the physical world, there is something else also happening. Another trade is taking place, which we don't get aware of. There is a story of Moti Ram Mehra, who was a servant in Wazir Khan's army or cook, and he was also a Sikh. And he got aware of the fact that the children and Mata Gujri are not given food and they are isolated. He goes to his grandmother, to his mother, and says that this is what is happening and I am in pain. I need to do something. I find what the mother said, or that's at least what the story is telling us. What Wazir Khan had ordered was that if anybody helps this family, they will be drawn into rollers and minced. So completely physically destroyed. And when the son talks to his mother, and he has children, he has his wife, she tells him, better be quick. Go and give them some food. Knowing well that this would mean the end of their family and in a very painful way. This is a very deep exchange. It's an exchange in the spirit. When a person is willing to give up the physical so completely, and to us it seems suicidal. But there is something very sinister happening, very spiritually pleasant, physically painful. They are trading the physical aspect for a spiritual understanding of life. And this cannot happen simply to us. If we were ever in that position, I am quite sure most of us will not take the same decision. We are all bound by the physical, and that's where we lose out. But the seeker who is more intense has a more deeper vision of the Guru, has a more sharp vision of the Guru, and somehow that Sikh knows what he wants from the Guru and what the Guru can give. He knows that there is a difference between what the physical life gives us and what the Guru can give us. And he values what the Guru, he or she values the Guru's gift far more than the physical. There the difference lies. There is the choice. We all know that in life there are opportunities where we get a chance to change life, a crossroads of life, where we make choices which can impact decades or maybe the whole lifetime. वो वक्त भी देखा तारीख की घड़ियों ने, लम्हों ने खता की, सदियों ने सजा पाई. But the Guru and Sikh relationship is somehow so much more intense than the physical relationships which we know. That interaction is so spiritually powerful, so moving, that the physical completely dissolves. It has no meaning. And he goes and gives them milk for 3 days, and in the process gets minced into rollers, the whole family, including the mother who said, please be quick. Very willingly. There's no complaint. We complain to creation over small things which we don't get. But here is a relationship between a Sikh and a Guru where the Sikh is willing to give up all physical attachments, all physical ownerships, the entire physical life itself, without batting an eyelid, without thinking much. Somehow that Sikh is more aware than us about what the Guru can give and what the Guru is. That means the vision which such a Sikh holds is more spiritual already. And that's the reason for their choice. And that makes a difference, qualitative difference of life. We don't choose these choices. When we are in pain, we cry out to I, why I am in pain. And there the ego gets ratified. But here the Sikh is saying, Guru is, I am willing to sacrifice everything for the Guru. There is a very big difference. The JAPJI Sahib is inviting us to understand life in its entirety. The hukum of creation. When we enter the JAPJI, Maharaj talks about the 4 ways in which we don't realize the Creator. सोचे सोच ना हो गई, भुखे भुख ना उतरी, स्याणप. And these 4 ways are what people are trying out, chuppe chup, by being silent in the physical, by bathing, going to pilgrimages, by intensely enjoying the physical pleasures of life or the bhogs or gifts of life and saying that they will satiate me. These are our attitudes of how we approach life. And then intelligence is what is more dangerous now. All of us feel we are far more intelligent. And Guru mentions this in the Guru Granth very often, that everybody is knowing. He or she thinks they know. But who knows? Where's the judgment of that? And who will judge? Then Maharaj introduces us to hukum. When he raises the potent question, Kiv satyara hoi? How do I realize this Creator of mine? How do I get to know the Creator? How do I become one with this Creator? Kiv, how? Now, I don't ask this question. I say often my quest for spirituality starts from my pain. How does my pain go away? I ask that. Or that how do I get joy forever? Or how do I deal with my fear of death? These are my stimulants. There's nothing wrong with that. There has to be a stimulant for us to go into spirituality. But spiritual maturity gives us a sixth sense about who is Guru and who is not. And that makes all the difference of life. That gives us the right and wrong choices. Often enough, we want to do to solve in the physical world. And so if some guru is making us do something, do some asanas which are difficult, do some physical activity, we feel that is the way forward. But we are not the right judges for what is the way forward. But there are some Sikhs out there, some seekers out there who know it already. They are waiting for an opportunity. And opportunities come. They come in all our lives, but most of us give them away. We are too scared to move away from the physical. And we don't have the right guru, maybe. That's the other problem. We think somebody to be guru who is not a guru. And there are abundant opportunities and choices which are wrong, and fewer which are right. We have gone through the stages of Suniye. Maharaj has told us already that the spiritual awakening and understanding has to do with the revelation descending on the mind, the Gur Prasad. It has to do with love, has to do with unifying, unity, has to do with transcending, and has to do with going beyond the ego, going beyond the me. There is the role of the Guru. We only know ourselves, we only know our egos, we only know the I. And we don't know anything beyond that. And to drop the I is not possible without the Guru. There is the basic choice. In the Siddh Gosht, Guru Sahib talks about many roles for the Guru, and two which are more impactful to me have to do with Naam and a new life. The one thing which Guru will give us is a stable mind. And without a stable mind, spirituality is not possible. Pure gurte naam paya jai. So if anybody makes us twist our hands and legs and says this is the way to go forward, we need to think about it. Or if somebody lectures us about longevity of life, we still need to be aware. So maybe the experience of Naam within us will give us an understanding of the right Guru. That may be the key. Because there are so many Gurus. Maharaj says, Pure gurte naam paya jai. Satgur ke janme gaman mitaya. And the Guru makes us stabilize our mind. That is the key. So the first thing which will happen for a seeker is, when he is seeking, when he finds the Guru, he will listen. So suniye. And there are stages of listening. So 4 stages. The intensity of listening will vary. There were many seekers which Guru Sahib had even with him. Guru Nanak had Baba Buddha, immensely spiritual personality, a Brahm Gyani, who knew Brahm, the creator. There was Bailena, but there's a difference. One was very elevated in Sikh history. 6 gurus were connected to Baba Buddha. But Bailena became guru in a much shorter time in the physical frame. So there is some difference. qualitative difference. And there were other Sikhs also who were Brahmgyanis. There have to be. So there are stages. And what is the difference is the intensity of listening. How intensely I listen to my Guru or absorb what my Guru is saying. Let me say it differently. Just listening is not the beginning and end of this process. It's a transformative process. It is changing me. And at one stage, Guru tells Pailana things which are not logical, which don't make physical sense. Now, at that stage, some Sikhs just walked away. They said something is wrong with the Guru. My logic or my approach to physical life tells me Guru is wrong. But Pailana did not say that. He gave up his mind, his own mind, completely. And he listened so intensely that he is no more. His conditioned mind is no more. It will be difficult. I am sure it is difficult. And Guru says it at a later stage. He says, I have found Guruship, but I have sold myself to get it. So this whole structure of I am, the more completely it dissolves, the more completely I emerge. And there seem to be categories. There is differences in approach. Maharaj then had only one Lena, not two, who completely obeyed him or who was completely submissive and gave up his identity for the Guru. Says the Guru is I am not. So Suniye is so complete that the mind is transformed forever. I don't listen to my logic, my voice, my ego, my conditioning, my learning, my knowledge, my research. I don't listen to that. So my thought is completely gone. Let's translate this physical Sikh and Guru relationship to Shabad and Guru. Shabad Guru. Because Maharaj redefines spirituality in this way when he says that Shabad is my Guru. And we don't understand the depth of this word Shabad. I did some research with Bhagat Kabir, and in one of his Shabads he says, Shabad Shabad sabko kahe, Shabad ke haath na paun. This is not a physical entity. And if we look at the Guru Granth Sahib, there are so many explanations to Shabad that we will understand that the Shabad literally is the Creator Himself. And therefore I say that Shabad and Hukam are synonym. They are the same. So if I look at my relationship to Shabad today, what is the degree of my thought replaced by Shabad? That will define how close or far I am from the Guru. And we are all triggered. Mind gets triggered by the physical relationships of life, physical doings and happenings of life. We have some of the questions asked in the few sessions which are gone by, where people disturbed with what's happening in life voice their discontent and say, how do I deal with this? It's the degree of my inner voice I am listening to and how much Shabad is present in my life. There are degrees. Maharaj says if we listen completely, suniye, नानक भगता सदा विगास, सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश. He talks about transcending death. So we are dealing with the proximity to a power or a presence which has the ability to change our every aspect of our life, not a few things. We can do that. We can have needs for things and ask our Guru for those. I think all of us do that. But if we don't ask for that which is most material, most intense, most relevant to spiritual awareness, then we will fall short. In Asadivar, Maharaj talks about it in one of the Pauris. Ek nahi daat apas. So he says, when I ask for something, that's not what is a daat. That's not what is grace. That is not Gur Prasad. Sahib tutte je mile. When my Guru has given me something unconditionally with love, that is what is a daat. Now it can also be physical. If there is a physical relationship between a Sikh and a Guru can want to make the Sikh physically comfortable. It's possible. There's nothing wrong about that. But what is at the core of creation, what is at the core of life, is not the physical aspect of life. Although these are interactive, the spiritual and the physical are interactive. So mishandling the physical can destroy our spiritual relationship. Or mishandling the spiritual relationship can destroy our physical as well. So it's intermingled. But keeping our focus on the spiritual, if we work towards Naam, then we will not go wrong. And if the Guru Granth Sahib talks about one thing which is relevant, which we must keep our focus on, that is Naam. There was someone a few months ago asked about Naam, and we discussed Naam, state of being where we are beyond our ego. So how does the mind become stationary? By Sangat. By Sangat of the Shabad, by Sangat of those who are in the Shabad, collective spirituality, that transforms us. There's a big difference. When I sit alone and when I sit in a group, there's a big difference. I'm not remembering now, but there was a time where either the third Guru was handing over Guruship or the fourth was handing over, and in the instructions to the next Guru, he said, Buddhe di Sangat na chhatna. Don't leave the Sangat of those who are spiritual. This is a Guru guiding the next Guru. So it's not about only you and me. Sangat is relevant for everyone. This morning we recited the Shabad in which Guru Sahib guides us to how mind becomes stable. And he says, Hoye ikatar milo mere pai, dubida dur karo livlai. Collect together in Naam. We don't collect together in Naam now. Not many of us. We collect together for other issues, politics, business, everything else. But Naam is where the inner revelation happens. Naam is where we meet our Creator. Naam is where we meet our Guru. Naam is where the Sikh is born. होए कतर मिलो मेरे भाई, दुविधा दूर करो लिवलाई. Livelai, connect to the Creator. Forget the duality of life. Guru Arjan tells us the same thing. Savdhan ekagarjeet. So the JAPJI we did 11 paudis till now, and the last 4 paudis were about Suniye. And when, as a Sikh, we listen or we absorb the Guru's Shabad, Guru's Hukam, then our ego becomes reduced in stages to the degree which we are able to give it up, because it's our choice to give it up. And most of us will not go beyond a point. We will not give up the ego beyond a point. It's not easy to do that. And the inner practice of Naam is what will guide this process. I have not had anybody prepare today's reading, but I will read through the 12th paudi first. In which Maharaj has now taken us a step further from Sune. When we've absorbed the Naam, when we've absorbed the Hukam, when we've listened to an order. For example, if there is a physical relationship between a Sikh and a Guru says, bring the ladder and let me climb up the stairs. Very simply doable. Any one of us will do it. Or we may have a strong ego and we may refuse to do that also. That is also happening. But what if the Guru says something which is illogical, which is difficult, which is absolutely revolting for our logical sense? Something like climb up the stairs and burn the stairs, the wooden stair. As simple as that. And we will say, that is stupidity. I will burn with it. I'm just giving you an example of how the conditioned self, the logical self which we have, the knowledgeable self we have, the ego which we have built over time, has a very big hold, strong hold on us. And we don't give it up. And that's the reason for our pain. And these steps which Guru Sahib is taking us through is telling us the way to give up the ego, which only a Guru can make us do. Nobody else can make us do that. Satgur ke janme gaman mitaya. He says the wandering will cease, the wandering mind will cease, mind will become stationary, and I will get a new birth, a spiritual birth. That's an experience which can happen in the physical, it can happen in any form, but it will be the transformation will happen in the mind. It's not going to be only physical. We start the next stage of the spiritual revelation. And these will be similar to what we go through in the Khands later in the JAPJI. These are parallel experiences. So Maharaj now takes us to the next paudi, which is the 12th paudi. Manne ki gat kahi na jaye. In this manne there is one matra in the manne, but in the next 3 paudis there are 2 matras. Je ko kahe piche pachtaye. Kagad kalam na likhanhar, मन्ने का बह करन विचार, ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, जेको मन जाने मन कोय. So here is the naam. With the four stages of sunne, we have come to the stage of naam. Aisa naam niranjan hoy. When naam is now become the nature of my mind, my ego is not the mind space now. It's transformed into naam. The primary space in my mind is now naam. And ego is the interactive space which I use for physical interaction. It is still there because I still live the physical world. But naam has transformed my nature, my environment of my man. I am much closer to hukam. I am much more aware of hukam. I am now living that hukam to quite a degree. So this, if we look at the parallel in the khands, this is the Sram Khand ki Bani Roop, Tithe Kadat Kadiye Bahut Anup. Here the mind is getting transformed. The Shabad is transforming the man. I have allowed the Shabad to come into my man. I have dropped my ego. I have broken the walls. Kiv satyara hoiye, kiv kude tutte paal. How? The wall of falsehood, I have broken it. I have welcomed Guru in my life. It's like the mother of Moti Ram Mehra says, quickly go. Do this. Don't lose this opportunity. And it's as though they know that this is the way to spiritual awakening, spiritual wealth. There is a wealth. There is a kingdom out there. Kingdom in the sense, there's a power of presence out there, which is not counted in dollars and rupees, but it is immeasurable in the sense of naam. And what dollars and rupees can get us is only the physical comforts, power in the physical world. But these can get us a changing perspective of the spiritual life. Let's not underestimate this. This transcends death. By transcending death, I don't die when the physical body goes away. And the state of my being is not discomfort. It's not pain, which is what will normally happen if I live in the ego world. My departure from the physical will be painful. When he says this clearly, Antkal, there will be no pain. In the ending, there will be no pain. And that is the qualitative difference. You look at Bhagat Kabir, the mythology or the tradition says that he who dies in Varanasi goes to heaven, and who dies in Magar does not. So he goes to Magar to die. And he says, I am going to go to meet my Creator through Magar. And his place of rest is Magar, not Varanasi. He already knows where he is going to go. Before his death, he already knows what is his state of being. And that's what Guru Nanak Sahib says, that who knows about moksha after death? If we have not won our mind during living lifetime, then who knows about what will happen? That only Creator knows. So this is not so easily doable. It needs a departure from our traditional ego self. It needs a merger with the Guru to an intensity where I, as a being, my ego reduces. Myself is gone and the Guru has come in my place. ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, जेको मन जाने मन कोय. Everything is happening in the man. The transformation, the change of life is happening in the mind. The Naam is revealing itself in the mind. And it has come by what route? By Suniye. And this is the similar meditation which Guru Nanak has already introduced in the JAPJI. When he says, Gaviye, Suniye, Man Rakhiye Pao. Speak, sing, narrate the Shabad. Man Rakhiye Pao. And listen to it. So meditate on the Shabad. Dukh par har sukh kar le jaye. This takes you beyond the pain world. And the Naam world. So we are looking at a change of my inner being, where I may be physically the same person, but completely transformed within me. Where the 4 stages of Suniye have transformed me to a point where I am not, to a large degree. Maybe not completely as yet, because the Maniya also has 4 degrees. And then he goes to become a Panch. Panch Parvan, Panch Pradhan. The exalted, the spiritually awakened. Panche Pave Dargahman. And he says, Pancha ka gur ek dhyan. The Panch is not going to meditate on 2. He's only 1. We don't have 1. We don't have unified mind. Prabh ki ustat, karho sant meet, savdhan ekagarjit, ikchit. Thoughtless mind. Thoughtless mind is egoless mind. My ego is reflected how? In the thought. So if I listen very completely, so intensely that my thoughts are dropped and I merge with my mind with the Shabad, then I go into the body of Manan. Now the transformation of Shabad and Man, now the degrees have started. The Shabad is overtaking my mind. And the Shabad is the creator. Shabad is everywhere. Shabad is Anand. Shabad is Naam. Shabad is Hukam. The revealed Shabad is in the Guru Granth. And the Shabad is all around us as part of creation. Maharaj now has taken us to a new stage of life. If we are 6, we listen to our Guru. And the Guru, to what degree we listen, that degree the transformation will happen. And once the chance is gone, the change is also gone. I have a physical interaction with my Guru, for example. And there can be a top point where I don't go beyond selling myself. I don't completely give up my ego. I retain some. Then the relationship will cease there. That much part of the Guru is connected to me, but the rest is all me. The ego is still there. The relationship will restart when I want to commit more of myself. That's why my first step is the relevance step. After that, the Guru takes over. If I don't take the step, then the Guru will not take over. I have not asked. How will the answer come? And why will I ask for a spiritual awakening? When I trigger the pain beyond my ego self. If I trigger the pain to my ego self, then it will become part of the ego. Whenever we do something good for someone else in love and claim the benefits, then it's gone to the ego because I'm claiming it. So you're having a written on the wall that I have given this AC, or I've done this cement seva, or I've given this atta. That all goes to the ego self. Seva is where I have not claimed, where I am not. Sev karat hove neh kami. Without desire, without me. I am not. Therefore, seva can happen only when there is love. There's the love. Moti Ram Mehna. And there the transformation is happening, which we don't see in the physical. In the physical, we are seeing disaster. We are seeing death. We are seeing pain. We are not seeing the spiritual space. We can't see it unless we are spiritually inclined. So things are happening in the physical, but they have a meaning in the spiritual. And that is what happens to all of us. Maybe it doesn't happen every day because we don't see the Guru's presence in everyday life, but we do get opportunities. When we listen. So since we are now making it simpler, there is no physical Guru. But Guru does say that seek Sangat. Hoye ekattar milo mere pai. So the collective spirituality is an essential aspect of our spiritual growth, individually and as a community and as a world, as community, parts of the world or entire world. This is very relevant. So in this way, if we go out and do this Naam in Sangat without the ego, without making it a marriage procession, without making it a party, no cakes cut, no tea served, just Naam, then we are benefiting ourselves and others who are partying to this. And then in this way, I think we are at a loss because there is so much of life gone by and we haven't done more of this. This is the way to meet the Guru. And the Shabad is guiding us to do this. We don't need a physical Guru, but we need Sangat to help us evolve spiritually. And this Zoom sessions are also like that. The YouTube sessions are Sangat. One thing which we do need to work towards is a stable mind. And then connect to Shabad Maharaj with love. So Guru says such a person, manne ki gat kahi na jaye, who has absorbed the sunya of the Shabad, who has heard the Shabad so intensely that he has dropped his ego, where the walls have fallen and the Guru has entered the man. The Shabad has started transforming us. This now can't be narrated. This happening, this transformation, this change, manne ki gat kahi na jaye, can't be narrated, can't be said. It's all in the man. And whoever tries to do this will regret it. Because we only judge in the physical. We have this habit of judging people. Je ko kahe, piche pachtaye. Maharaj has elevated the Sikh who has listened intently to a new degree, to a new state of being. And it seems that such a person is very revered by the Guru himself also. Kagad kalam na likhanhar. Says it cannot be written. Such an individual who has understood, had Sangat of the Guru, Sangat of the Shabad, all the paper of the world can't write what is the state of his being. Kagad kalam na likhanhar. Paper and pen can't define, can't describe. Manne ka behkaran vichar. But he says, meditate on this. Those who have listened and transformed their inner mind to manan, to following, meditate on their state of being. Maharaj, Guru Nanak Sahib's Udasis, there was one time where this question was asked to him. Puchan Pol Kitab nu Hindu Vadda ke Musalman noi. Who is better, Hindu or Musalman? But Guru Sahib has a very clear thought process. He measures everything, or he observes everything, or he sees everything in the state of mind only. Babe akhe hajiyan, shubh amala bajon, dome roi. Maharaj says it is not to do with the structure of religion outside. It's to do with the state of mind. What is the amal? How much transformation has happened in the mind? Amal. Shubh amala bajon, dome roi. Says both of them will be crying. And that same is for Sikhs like us who don't follow. Merely disguise ourselves as Sikhs. Merely claim to be Sikhs. Understanding of life has to do with listening to Guru. That is the spiritual understanding. Physical, he is not teaching you about the nuclear technology or the thermodynamics or biotechnology. He is not talking about those things. That's not what we narrate to knowledge. Or how close the sun is or how far it is. These are not the things he's talking about. He's talking about the structure of where I'm coming from and where I will go. What is my mind's state? How do I get freedom of the physical? How does my pain go away? Where does my pain come from? How is life defined for someone who is a spiritual person? Maharaj says, kahe na jaye. Manne ki gat kahi na jaye. Can't be said, my friend. These are revelations of the inner mind. That is how Shabad becomes potent. It becomes transformative energy because it is coming from a revelation of Nirankar. Jaisi mein aave khasam ki bani. Aisa kari gyan mein lalu. Maharaj says, this is not me. This is the Nirankar. The Shabad comes from him. As he says, I reveal it to you. That is why it becomes a very potent transformative tool. And I often give this example that when there used to be, now we don't have pumps in our houses, but earlier we had this motor pumps, and they would leave water and we would have to fill water from above to remove the vacuum. And once the air vacuum goes away, it will start pulling water again. Similarly, Shabad is everywhere, but there is a vacuum in my mind. I don't connect to Shabad. So I feed the Shabad from the physical. Gaviye suniye. I have started suniye, transforming, absorbing the Shabad in the physical, till it reaches the point of Manan. And then it takes over. You are sitting in a party. 1,000 issues are being discussed. And the Mool Mantra is going on the back of your mind. You don't do it. It is happening. Such is Shabad. Maharaj calls this Jap so ajapa jape. A jap which I am not doing, but happening. Transforming. Kadiye. Shabad Sachi Taksal. This is the wealth of the Sikh. Not dollars, rupees. That may be the wealth in the physical. It has a meaning in the physical, but it has a very minuscule meaning compared to Naam. If Guru talks about Naam, wealth, he talks about Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksal. Shabad as the Taksal, as the wealth, the mint. And you see this, we see examples of this in the physical. Maharaj has come, everything is lost. Within 1 week, 4 children are gone. Mother is gone. Anandpur is gone. He doesn't go back to Anandpur. If you really look at this life, it's unbelievable. And he is at Nanded. Nanded defined directly is non-Nand Dera. There used to be 9 rishis residing there, prehistoric times. Macaulay writes about this in his, Macaulay narrates this in his book. He says, non-Nand Dera. So, there he meets Banda. Banda Bairagi. Madho Das. What does he have? He has nothing. Physically, he doesn't have anything. But see, the wealth which we talk about is transformative. Between a Sikh and a Guru, that interaction is a power potent. So, he sends him to Punjab with 5 Sikhs and a few letters. That's about it. To go and fight the Mughal Empire, which is the largest empire in the South Asia at that time, which has lakhs of army. It has guns, it has cannons, it has elephants, it has well-organized army, fighting armies, and 5 people. Within 2 years, Wazir Khan Sarhand is fallen. 2 years from that time. 5 years from the time the incidents happens of Baba Zorawar Singh, Baba Fateh Singh. This is spiritual strength, not physical. It's spiritual transformed to physical. Through the agency of Sikh. And the Guru is always looking for this. We are not the agents. We don't submit ourselves to the Guru to that degree. We are failures in that way. But Guru transacts through his Sikhs in the physical world. That's how it is. That's why he says, Khalsa mero roop hai khas. Khalse mein ho karo nivas. And he says, I reside in Anandpur. My Sikhs reside in Anandpur. Anandpur is Sachkhand, Begumpura. What Bhagat Kabir calls Vaikunt. Their state of being is completely free of the physical state of life. And he tells Aurangzeb in no uncertain terms, he says, Keha shudh ke cha bachka kushte char. So what? You have taken 4 of my children. Ke baki bemadas pechida mar. Mar is serpent in Persian. This pechida, this coiled serpent, what will you do about this? My Khalsa, what will you do? There's nothing you can do. This is a spiritual strength which is going to come to you. It's coming for you. It's timeless. It's free of all physical constraints, and it will get you. This is far more potent than the physical strengths you hold. And you hold everything in the world. Don't underestimate them. Ke baki bemadas pechida mar. They are my children, my other part of me. Why? Because they have love for the Guru. And that love is not in the physical, it's in the spiritual realm. It's in Manan. It's in Hukam. It's in living the awareness of the Guru and with attention to the Guru. It can be in the physical completely. It can be only in Shabad completely. And you see how Bhai Nandlal, Brahmgyani, how this whole game was being played out. Immensely elevating Masnavi, Bhai Nandlal, Goa. Hawai bandagi avur dar vajood mara. My vajood, my entity is because of you, because of the bhakti I have for you. Bandagi, that is what defines me. That means I give up my ego self. Vagarna zoke chuni amden. There was no need to come. Amden, no need to come. Otherwise, there is no need to come to this life. Namud mara. A Sikh says this to the Guru in Manan. Manne ki gat kahi na jaye. This is the Guru's miracle. Today we look for miracles in the world. Everybody is looking for miracles. There is a Guru made with photographs everywhere and the miracles. I met that Guru incidentally. But who is Guru Maharaj? Is who transforms us spiritually and frees us from the bondage of life, of karam, gives us the life of another. This is the life of Manan. Manne ki gat kahi na jaye. Kagad kalam na likhan har, manne ka behkaran vichar. Sit and meditate on this state of being. And the opportunity may come at any time. I'm sure Motilal Mehra never dreamed of this opportunity, nor did his mother, but it came. And how certainly, clearly, definitively he took this choice. There were millions, but he took that choice. I will give up the physical if I need to, for being in the hukam of the Guru. This person is already a spiritual being. The door opens only for a fraction of a second and it's done. The physical activity is happening, but the spiritual life has already revealed itself. This is the relationship between Sikh and Guru. We underestimate it. We think a Guru is far away, upstairs somewhere. Guru is within and without us, everywhere. ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए. Niranjan without dirt, completely pure. In the mind, the Naam is revealed. Jeko man jane. If somebody knows this within his mind, then his mind is transformed into man koe, in the other mind, unman. The mind without ego, where there is Naam, where there is love and connectivity, complete connection to the Guru. We all listen to Shabad, but we don't do it intensely enough. So whenever we sit in dhyan of Shabad, I always say, one is the vichar of Shabad, which is understanding what it means. The other is the dhyan of Shabad. Gaviye suniye, man rakhiye pao. मुंदा संतोख सरम पत चोली ध्यान की करो विभूत. Stable mind and surt, Shabad, the next body will take us to surt, aware mind of connected Shabad mind. This is the miracle of Guru. So, Guru as a personality, Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh, Guru Granth Sahib, Shabad Guru. Guru as Shabad, Nirakar Shabad and Sakar Shabad. We have to connect. First step is ours, and then the transformation will follow. And to what degree I am able to give up my thought mind will define how far I will go in spirituality. We have enough examples in our history, in experiences, to be able to understand that there were a few who went very far. Some went far enough. Some didn't walk at all. Some gave up very quickly. Who are we? We have to define that. Life has its solutions which come to us, if we will call them. But we need to be prepared. Guru does meet a Sikh. But if the Sikh is not ready, the opportunity will pass us by. So what do we need to do? The whole focus is Naam, again and again and again. ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, जेको मन जाने. If we know it within our mind, this naam, man koe, then the mind is transformed into the unman, the man koe. There are 4 bodies to manan. And then we will study and contemplate on the panch, those who have completely transformed their mind and they have transcended the ego mind, the structure of the conditioned mind, our conditioning from the time we took birth. Guru encourages us to go into Naam, go beyond the home. And going beyond the home cannot happen without the Shabad, without Guru. So we do this, the bodies of Sukhmani on Sundays. When Maharaj in Sukhmani says, Andkoop mein patit bikral. fallen into a well, a dark well. My ego is like a dark well. I don't know how to come out of it. Nanak kaad lyo prabh dayal. It does not matter how abject or how severe or how serious my present conditions are. It matters how quickly I connect to the Guru and I'm able to call out for his prasad, his Guru Prasad. That is the power of a Sikh and a Guru. It doesn't matter what condition the Guru is in, the Sikh is in. There is a story about Bhai Manj, fallen into a well in the middle of the night in a forest, and a storm is up above. And Guru Arjan runs to him barefoot because Manj is connected to the Guru by his mind. And he can call the hotline. If we want to call the hotline to Guru Nanak, to Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, to Guru Granth Sahib, then we need to meditate on the Shabad with love, not hurt. In the Reman Aso Kar Sannyasa, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj says, Kaam, Krodh, or Lobh Hat, Mohna Man ko paye. The sixth, he said, Hat. Zid naal. No, not with that. With the love, he says. We will always be winners of life. And in this Manan, Guru Sahib has already defined to us, when he talks about this sphere of Manan, he has defined this in the Guru Granth. What is Manan? When the mind, the chit, is connected to Naam. Naay maniye, dukh pukh gayi, jin naam chit laya. Naay maniye. Manan means to put chit in Naam. My mind has become one with Naam. And such a person, he says, is the one who's victorious. Manne now soi jin jai. One who has understood who has revealed the Shabad in the Manan state, has won the game of life. Auri karam na lekhe lai. No other karam will define this person now. Naam chit lai. Maharaj, this commitment to Naam, it should be my approach to life as a Sikh. And the rest will follow. With these words, I conclude today's session of the 12th body of Manan. Manne ki gat kahi na jaye. And we will follow the next three, try and do them in the next sessions, next week. Forgive my lapses. I thank you for your presence. If any of you have any questions, please raise your hand on Zoom, or if you're on YouTube, you can write them out and maybe somebody will post them on Zoom and we can. Manmeet's hand is raised. Manmeet.
हाँ जी वीर जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह वीर जी।
वाहिगुरु जी महाराज।
हाँ जी वीर जी, मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि अमृत वेला तो कोई टाइमिंग है? क्योंकि असं हमेशा सुनिया कि अमृत वेला 2 ਤੋਂ 6 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਜ਼ ਇਟ ਰਿਲੇਟਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਸਨਰਾਈਜ਼? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ 6 ਵਜੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੰਧੇਰਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਆਮ ਨਾਟ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਅਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ, ਮਤਲਬ ਮਾਈ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਆਰ ਇੰਟਰਰਿਲੇਟਡ। ਵਨ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਇਜ਼ ਦਿਸ, एंड अदर क्वेश्चन इज कि अमृत वेले ही नितनेम करन दा ज्यादा फायदा है, मतलब जो ऐसे 6 वजे तो बाद करिए तो की उसका लाभ नहीं है? दिस इज सेकंड क्वेश्चन।
एक बारी मैंने थोड़ा जिहा, I mean, I like your question. Please also explain that, maybe help others also. What is the reason for asking this?
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਰੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਉਠੋ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਸੰਭਾਲੋ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਸੰਭਾਲੋ। ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ 6 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉੱਠ ਸਕੇ, ਕਦੀ 7 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਠ ਗਏ, ਤੇ ਕਿ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਟੁੱਟ ਗਿਆ, ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੰਭਲਿਆ। ਮਤਲਬ ਉਸਦਾ ਪਾਰਟਿਕੂਲਰ ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਕਿ 2 ਤੋਂ 6 ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਮਤਲਬ 6 ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ, ਜਸਟ दैट द फर्स्ट थिंग यू डू व्हेन यू वेक अप।
So I think there are two ways of looking at this. First is, whenever we do Naam, that is Vela is Amrit. What does Amrit mean? That which doesn't die. Amrit. That happiness which has no time linked to it. Amrit. Beyond death. So whenever we are connected to Naam, that Vela is Amrit. This is one way of looking at it. Having said that, the Guru Granth Sahib clearly suggests to us a specific time also. Maharaj says, Pichal raat na jagyo, ji vandro moyo. This is Bhagat Farid. He says, if you have not woken up in the pichli raat. Now this is the pichli raat, which is the 8वां पहर। पिछली रात रहन के सुरते उपजे चाओ, तिना दरियावां से दोस्ती, मनमुख साचा ना हो, नाम नाल दोस्ती जग रही है पिछली रात। Then in one more place, there's many places he talks about पिछली रात, but I am giving you few examples. पहले पहड़ फुलड़ा, फल भी पिछा रात, जो जगंदे लैंड स्यो साई कन्नो दात। So the पहर before the पिछली रात, that is from now see, the peher is defined as 3 hours in a day. So 24 hours, 8 peher. 8 peher, in 8 pehers the day is defined. This was the way time was counted earlier. So there's also nimak, there is other seconds, minutes are also counted like that. Anyway, he says, rest the night before the pichli raat. Ulada. That rest will give you the ability to meditate on Shabad in the pichli raat. And I have personally had this experience for years, where I lived with this person who used to tell us to rest at 9. At 9 he used to tell us, all of you will rest. And he would wake up, he would not sleep, I think. He would just be awake, and 12:30, 2:30 he would bathe, and 3 o'clock he would sit on the bhaja. So it's a 3 to 6. So Amrit Vela is any time when we do Naam Abhyas. That's one way. It's not irrelevant. Whenever we connect to Naam, Maharaj can that Sovat Jagat Uthat Baitat. So physically, it's timeless. It is without form, without if we are sitting in certain asanas, or it's irrelevant whether you're lying down or you're waking up. If you are in Naam, then you are in Naam. So he says, Pichal raat na jagyo, ji bandado moyo. Your life is dead without being born. Ji bandado moyo. Jinde ji marya banda. That is how hard he is on pichli raat. Now this is our choice. If we can do it, we cannot do it. If we cannot do it, we wake up, like Sant Tattar Singh was very practical, and he said, you cannot wake up, you have a work to do. Wake up 1 hour before you can go to work. Give that 1 hour to Shabad. You cannot do that. Give it at night. Do it. First thing is to do it. And then maybe the energy will come for that pichli raat. Because once somebody is in deeper meditation, he doesn't need so much sleep. I hope I have been clear.
Hanji Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you. Maharaj. That is why we do this 4:30 to 6. abhyas on Saturday, Sundays, to make it as easy as possible. And when we do the Shabad abhyas, we do it in darkness. So we don't know who's sitting around. We don't see others. And we don't sit and have teas after that. We just finish and do ardas, and we go into our inner selves. Maharaj. Anybody else? Then we can do the Anansa. Would somebody like to, Manmeet ji, would you like to say the 6 bodies of Anansa?
हाँ जी वीर जी,
Thank you.
स्टार्ट करो
जी.
हाँ जी. राम कली महला तीजा आनंद एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद आनंद पया मेरी माए सतगुरु मैं पाया सतगुरता पाया सहज सेती मन वजिया वाधाया राग रतन परवार परिया शब्द गावन आया शब्दों त गावो हरि केरा मन जिनी वसाया कहे नानक आनंद हुआ सतगुरु मैं पाया ए मन मेरिया तू सदा रहो हर नाले हर नाल रहो तू मन मेरे दुख सब विसारना अंगीकार ओ खड़े तेरा कारज सब सवारना सबना गला समरथ स्वामी सो क्यों मनु विसारे कहे नानक मन मेरे सदा रहो हर नाले साचे साहिबा क्या नहीं कर तेरे करता तेरे सब कुछ है जिस दे है सो पावे सदा सिफ्त सलाह तेरी नाम मन वसावे नाम जिनके मन वसया बाजे शब्द कनेरे कहे नानक सच्चे साहिब क्या नहीं कर तेरे साचा नाम मेरा आधारो साच नाम आधार मेरा जिन भुखा सब गवाइया कर शांत सुख मन आय वसया जिन इच्छा सब पुजाइया सदा कुर्बान किता गुर वितो जिस दिया ए वडियाइया कहे नानक सुनो संतो शब्द तरो प्यारो साचा नाम मेरा आधारो वाचे पंच शब्द कित कार सभाग्य शब्द वाजे कल्ला जित करतारिया पंच दूत तुद वस किते काल कंटक मारिया तुद करम पाया तुद जिनको से नाम हर के लागे कहे नानक तै सुख होवा तित कर अनहद बाजे आनंद सुनो वड भागियो सगल मनोरथ पूरे पार ब्रह्म प्रपाया उतरे सगल विसूरे दुख रोग संताप उतरे सुनी सच्ची बाणी संत साजन पए सर से पूरे गुरते जानी सुनते पुनीत कहते पवित्र सतगुर रया पर पूरे बिनवंत नानक गुरु चरण लागे बाजे अनहद तूरे सुनते पुनीत कहते पवित्र सतगुर रया पर पूरे बिनवंत नानक गुरु चरण लागे बाजे अनहद तूरे वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह विच
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਆਲ ਆਫ ਯੂ